Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Michelle and Barack Obama were the stars of the show on day 2 of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, with the former president and First Lady calling out Donald Trump as well as endorsing Kamala Harris. Michelle, a huge favourite among the Democratic Party faithful, and who has herself batted away calls to run for president, said Kamala Harris was ready to lead.
Look, Kamala knows, like we do, that regardless of where you come from, what you look like, who you love, how you worship, or what's in your bank account, we all deserve the opportunity to build a decent life. We know folks are going to do everything they can to distort her truth. My husband and I sadly know a little something about this. For years, Donald Trump did everything in his power to try to make people fear us. See, his limited, narrow view of the world made him feel threatened by the existence of two hardworking, highly educated, successful people who happen to be black.
Moments later, her husband, America's first African-American president, Barack Obama, took to the stage and continued the attacks on Donald Trump.
There's the childish nicknames, the crazy conspiracy theories, this weird obsession with crowd sizes.
Meanwhile, police and protesters scuffled outside the Israeli consulate in Chicago as delegates formally announced US Vice President Kamala Harris as the Democratic Party's nominee. Dressed in helmets and holding batons, police pushed protesters away from the consulate 2 miles from the United Center where the convention is being held. Police were seen making several arrests. Protests against the US support for Israel's war in Gaza have overshadowed the convention, where most of the speakers have avoided the topic. 2 bodies have been found inside the luxury yacht which sank off the coast of Sicily. An unnamed source close to the search operation said 2 of the 6 missing passengers had been located inside the vessel, while footage showed body bags being brought to the port. Divers have been attempting to access the boat, which is around 50 metres below the surface, since Monday morning. Among the missing are the Morgan Stanley International chairman Jonathan Bloomer and his wife Judy, and the British tech tycoon Mike Lynch and his 18-year-old daughter. The Democratic Republic of Congo is desperately awaiting the first delivery of vaccines to fight an escalating Mpox outbreak. Health Minister Samuel Roger Kamba Mulamba of the DRC, the epicenter of the current outbreak, said the country expects to receive the first arrival of doses as early as next week. Since the beginning of the year, more than 16,000 Mpox cases and roughly 570 deaths have been confirmed in the DRC, where over 90% of the infections have been identified in the latest strain of the virus. 3 members of staff at a secondary school in northwestern Bosnia have been killed during a shooting by a co-worker. Bosnian police say the gunman used an automatic rifle to kill the school's employees before shooting himself, adding that he is in hospital in a critical condition. Initial reports by local media suggest the gunman was a caretaker at the Sanski Most school. The shooting took place during Bosnia's summer holiday. Heavy monsoon rains in Bangladesh's eastern region have caused floods that affected at least 200,000 people. Video showed areas in Kumilla and Feni districts submerged in floodwaters. In Feni, residents were seen evacuating with their belongings by boats and other makeshift transportation. Feni alone recorded 186 millimeters of rainfall, with the neighbouring Parashuram town experiencing 300 millimeters. And a Thailand parliamentary investigation has been formally requested into the veteran politician and former army chief Prawit Wongsuwon after he hit a journalist last week. The Palang Pracharath party leader struck the Thai PBS reporter on the head after she asked him a question about the new Prime Minister. A PPRP party spokesman said Prawit knew the journalist well and has apologised, saying he was teasing her. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.